heading down to Danger Brain to work on some design for bottles, but this is this morning's haul from a lot of citrus wash going out. But the really good news for those of you listening to the podcast is my desk is here. So I've got to start tearing this apart, but man, I've been running around doing too much stuff to mess with it, but I need to get this done. Or I want to get this done so I can start recording more. At least that's my excuse. How's the inventory going, Chris? Making some progress?
Oh yeah, a lot of progress yesterday.
So I got to get some, oh shoot, towels came. That's good, because look at our towel. Remember, it wasn't that long ago that this darn towel thing was spilling out the shelf. But we've been rolling through towels like nothing I've ever seen, which is amazing. So I got to climb up top to get. I don't know what we did with them, but I got to climb up top to get the bottles to take to Danger Brain to do some design. All right, so I got the bottles. Put these, take these down with me to Danger Brain. Here's the cap for now, and got to make a design for the incoming permanent citrus wash. Or we're going to call it decontamination soap. I'm going to change the name of it because wash sounds stupid to me. I always get sidetracked. I'm going to be here for an hour. I need to get out of here. But I got some bottle sealers. Believe it or not, the guy next door, this is what his company does.
It works.
So that's a 28-410. And then these other ones are a 38-400. 400's the thread part, so it really doesn't matter, so as long as it's 38 millimeters.
Yep.
The problem is that now we need to figure out shrink wrapping or something, heat shrinking or something, so we don't have to tape that stuff with Goofy. These new black CarPro bottles look sick. They're like tinted, the black cap. That's pretty awesome. I like that a lot. All right, I'm off. I'm getting sidetracked here. Chris is working on tariff codes for you international people. He's working on SKUs because I'm installing some new software. We're going to a barcode scanning system for picking and packing because some of you have gotten orders, and it drives us crazy when we put Adams tire and rubber. It's supposed to be Adams shampoo because the bottles are the same. So anyway, heading down to Orlando. Shoot, this doesn't happen often either. I need gas. At the Danger Brains, we got some. Got the bottles. The main thing we need to work on today is the soap.
Okay.
Right. So the gallon and the 32 ounce. So like I don't have a choice but to get rolling because the soap's going to be here as soon as I have the bottles and labels. Then we can order it.
Okay.
And I mean I sold out of my signature series. I don't know if you saw that. I'll tell you the story of that in like 20 seconds. The other day, so
get to work.
Right. So we got some work to do. So we have these. We'll ship in these. I mean, I guess this would be the top. So I found these, which is close to our color, right?
Close enough.
And then I can't find. These things are impossible to find. Is a dispenser.
Oh god, yeah.
In blue. We will be eventually, but
almost even the hex shape.
But the problem with all of this stuff is that you need to buy like 50,000.
Yeah.
I don't need 50,000.
Right.
I need like 1,000. So
49,000 shy.
we're getting there. We'll get there. Yeah. But for now, we need to make a temporary solution.
Okay.
So we need to design to what we have, and then we'll fix it from there.
This is technically one of our colors. These are our brand colors.
Yep.
So
gray.
If we can get away with it. We can do it. We can bring in brand colors with the stickers.
Yeah. So we can work with that and make some consistent bottles
Yep.
for everything. I can see my car out on your doorbell. I forgot how good we had these.
So what happened is we already ran into these issues before.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So except, like these are more like like those over there.
All right, we're already done.
Nice.
Take that. That's what we want on the bottle, right there.
There we go.
Oh, great. Now we just got to charge you for it.
You already did. On these, our dream of doing our whatever we called that, the big bolt.
Oh, this hex bolt here?
Yeah, that was screen printed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was going to be street.
We could do that on a clear label, but the problem with the clear label is then it bunches up, and I hate that.
Because you're going to have this wrap around.
Sebastian's on the phone with the label company. This is why I come here, because they do all this stuff for me, so I don't have to do it. Right, we're making it happen here. Got the design of the back. This was the tricky part, because I don't want some big giant label on the bottle when you're trying to squeeze it. It's gonna look sick. We made some serious progress on the rear label, keeping it on brand. And so now the beauty of this is as we come out with multiple products or more products, then we'll be able to just transplant the information onto here. And then the other idea is that when we have our bottles, like let's say for instance I'm selling my soap or the soap in the bottle, then we'll put the label on the back. But if we're just selling you an empty bottle, if you just want an empty bottle that says rubber cleaner or car soap, then we'll send you a bottle with a generic label. So it'll be Obsessed Garage branded, but it won't technically say Obsessed Garage anywhere. It'll just look clean, right? That's basically what I want to do, is be able to have a nice clean option where you could put whatever you want in that bottle. Yep, that is super legit. A little better than my Signature series. I even got room to sign it under there if I needed to. And then we have the 32 ounce up here. Obviously it doesn't look as pretty on our little rendering because of the curvature of the bottle, but man, it's legit. And we're gonna do a black top because we don't want the black top to, or the blue top to clash with our blue sprayer that we'll probably end up doing. That's a long run in the GT3, but man, this thing is comfortable. Lots of traffic. Gotta go grab something to eat and then get to the gym because it's 5:30 already. I don't know how these days go by so fast. What's up, baby girl? What are you doing?
Casey just came over and he's saying but they had to go for the shirts.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they came over
What are you doing, Rye? You don't have football today?
Nope.
What's Mama doing? She's sick?
No, she's in there.
She's hanging out? You guys swimming?
Yeah.
How come you got that weird shirt on? That's a funny shirt.
Yeah. No, he didn't like that shirt anymore, so I just wore it.
You guys doing some swimming? Oh man, driving the GT3 for a couple hours today is fun.
Not good.
I need to do that more often. Way more fun than driving around the truck. So I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I'm doing my Renaissance periodization, which I'm off on now. All right, I'm late. I gotta get to the gym. I've been training twice a day, but I couldn't do that today because I had to go do our, so I'm gonna jump back in the RS, head out to the gym, try to capture a little bit of footage, not look like a total tool. Well, we'll just say because of copyright, they were playing music, I didn't want to get flagged. So anyway, I wasn't feeling so great today. I've been training twice a day, and I've been doing Renaissance periodization. It's just, man, I just feel beat up, man. My body's wrecked. So I did a single wad today because I was down there with Danger Brain, but we did, I did a shoulder press. I did my Windler shoulder press. And so just did a light, 130, and then we did this this deadlift thing. So I don't like sumo deadlifts, but I literally could have gone 2 minutes faster. I'm starting to get in decent shape, but I was hurting, and so 623, not my best showing. I mean, when I do those sumos, all of the pressure feels like it goes into my meniscus that I tore, and so I don't like messing with that. But anyway, got the workout done. Tomorrow I'll be doing 2 a day. So what I think I'll probably do is just continue this vlog, and tomorrow we'll do the desk and start to install our setup, our full desk setup in HQ. That's going to be really sick. So it's going to be a multi-part series of sharing with you what I've come up with my my podcasting studio desk. All right, good morning. I'm going to keep the vlog going for today. I got an action-packed day, lots of fun stuff. So anyway, I'm up in the morning. I got to get my eating dialed in. Or for the day. I've been working on this this Renaissance periodization platform. So check it out. So here's my base template. So when you buy this, you get a base template. It's based on your weight, and then It gives you a timing system, gives you a timing-based, loose macro-based system. You have to check it out. But you start with a base program. There's Fat Loss 1, Fat Loss 2, Fat Loss 3, and right now I'm on the base. Just started it, and so I have base, and I've been training twice a day. So really getting into it. So I have a twice a day platform that I'm starting the 2-a-day trainings on Fat Loss 3. So what I got to do this morning, because of where I'm training, let's see, I've got to eat 6 ounces of lean protein, a small handful of greens, and then 40 grams of healthy carbs. And then because I'm going to the gym, I got to take protein and carbs, 80 grams of carbs, and then I gotta come back and have some high glycemic carbs right after it. So I'm gonna make some breakfast. All right, here's what we got. So this is my pre and post workout higher glycemic carbs. So 2.5 cups of apple juice, 35 grams of protein. For breakfast, I'm only eating one of these. I'll eat the other one when I get back, but that's about 6 ounces of steak. This is right at 37 grams of carbs, and then a handful of greens. So I'm gonna eat some celery. So that's my breakfast pre and post workout, and then I'll come back and I'll have to eat again really quickly. Man, I feel good this morning. Got up early. I just wake up whenever I wake up, which is usually around 6:30 or so. Walk through all my emails. So I've hired Chris Haynes. If you remember the guy that I'm always doing fitness challenges and losing. Oh shoot, I've got to do the 500 burpees. I'll probably do that this weekend. He's taken a massive workload off of me, and that he's categorizing, flagging, responding to a lot of my email. I get a lot of general questions that are the same thing over and over and over and over again, and so some of the clerical stuff, I want to respond to everybody that has personal questions and has questions about products and things like that. So I handle all of that, but all of the this product's coming from Cox hose reels and processing of all of that stuff. So my dad's in charge of logistics, getting the shipping done. Chris is now doing all the things that I was doing that I need somebody to do, that we can't just slack on. So that's taking a huge weight off of me. But the next step is, I'll continue to need to hire hourly people to come in and help with packing and shipping and stuff as that gets bigger. But the next step is media. Man, I really, really want to be a good editor, and I really would like to be, I really like the gear, I'm into the gear. But I'd really like to have someone on staff, someone that can video, carry the camera, and do all of the editing, and do it at a level that I'm just not capable of because I don't have the artistic ability. What would it take to make that happen? To have somebody dealing with all of I intend on creating a Twitch channel and live streaming podcasts. You'll see today I'm going to be setting up the desk so that I can be podcasting regularly and not have this whole production. I need to get all the gear out to do it. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that stuff. I'd like to do some live streaming, Q&A type stuff. I think that's cool. I was watching David Patterson's live stream last night, that dude in blue. He's doing everything by himself. I feel like if I had somebody to help me structure that and build that where I could just show up and host it, that I would do it every day or do it all the time. And the interacting with people, I think, is the fun part, because I have a tendency to go into reclusiveness and go into seclusion. So that's my next step. So hopefully I continue to sell cool stuff so that I can keep improving and work toward building this destination that I'm so focused on and having such a blast doing. But what I've been focused on here the last few weeks is getting myself in shape. If I'm going to run this hard, I need to put in the effort, get my diet dialed in, which I've been working feverishly on over the last couple of months, and then focusing on fitness and becoming an athlete again. Because when you're an athlete, you get more stuff done and you have more energy. So I've been doing pretty well at that. I'm doing a Wendler cycle on bench, deadlift, squat, and strict press. So I did the squatting Tuesday, did the strict press Wednesday yesterday. So today I'm going to work on my deadlift. So what it is, I'm doing 65, 75, 85% of my 1 rep max. I didn't have a good week when I was maxing, so my maxes are a little light. I think I did 420. My PR, my personal best on deadlift is 460. So what you're supposed to do in Wendler is I'm supposed to do 5, 5, and 5 or 5+ reps this week at 65, 75, 80%, 85% of 90% of my 1 rep max. So I did 415 the other day. What I think I'll do is I'm just going to do the 65, 75, 85 of 100% of the max that I just did last week. So I'm gonna work off of those weights. That's what I've been working off of. So I benched 255, which I know I can bench more. My current, I benched 320 before, but that was in college. So my bench is about 285, 290 is my most recent, like this year's PR. And so I'm going to work off of, I did 255 the other day, which just, again, this week wasn't a really strong week. So I'm going to work off of doing, off of a 255 max. What was the squat? Squats, most I've ever squatted was 400. But I'm probably only squatting 370 right now. I only squatted 335, and I'm about to crush my soul last week. So that's I guess my current max. But this year I've done 385, and strict press is 190. So nothing crazy. But hopefully I'll increase those weights here as I focus on that. And then I'm going to run a couple of miles and work on some deficit handstand push-up stuff. I'd like to improve my gymnastics ability. So pull into the gym now. All right, this is what we got, but I'm going to do this tonight. So I'm going to do my own thing here right now. Generally, we'll have a warm-up on the board, but I like to do this little procedure every single time. I like to row 500 meters, which it doesn't make sense because rowing is one of the very few things in CrossFit that I'm actually pretty good at. But I'll row 500 meters, usually at about a 140 pace. GHTs are something I'm really bad at, so I do 25 GHTs and always attempt to do those unbroken. Notice I need to lock out my quads more and use less of my lower back and core, and use quads more. So I'll try to do 25 of those unbroken. And then body weight movements are always tricky for me, are always hard for me. So I do 50 air squats to warm up my legs. That usually gets my knees and joints warmed up as well. And then after that, I'll do one of my nemesis, which are push-ups. I think my form's decent, but man, is it hard for me to do push-ups for some reason. I don't know if it's distance or anatomy or whatever, but anyway, this warm-up tends to get me ready to roll. So if we're going to go off 415, that means I need to warm up to 270, 310, 355. Shoot. That's too heavy. I'm going to go 90% of 415. And we'll just do that. 270, 310, 355. It's always a bit odd watching yourself back on camera. the vanity of this is a little odd. But hey, if I'm going to vlog my life, I guess I need to share all of it. So I'm just warming up with 135. Deadlifts really, they look easy when I watch back, but man, they hurt. That's something I always have to really work hard at, and I don't deadlift very often because I feel like my lower back, I hurt it too often. But that was 225 warming up. I'm doing, this is my 65%, which would be 270 for 5. I guess 65% of 415, which is a number I kind of made up. And then this would be, well, I was supposed to do 310, but anyway, I did 315, which is a simpler, rounder number. For 5, you can see it's starting to get heavier, But man, it feels so much heavier in person than when I watch it back. It looks too easy. And I wasn't sure about 355. Again, I don't lift deadlifts heavy very often. And you're supposed to do 5+ reps, but I just did whatever the heck I could do, which was 5. I probably should have done a few more, but I just hit the 5 and called it quits. So this has been the story of my life. Sorry to Sarah there. I almost ate it on my sweaty palms. But the story of my CrossFit journey has always been anything gymnastics related takes me 8 times longer than anybody else. I just can't do it well. So here I'm attempting to, I'm supposed to be doing shoulder taps and just holds. But notice I can barely move my hands without falling over. I just don't have any stability. I'm collapsing in my core. And then I just kind of worked on, I can't do strict handstand push-ups. I'm too tall and too much distance and too much weight. Sorry for the the stomach show here. But I'm doing sets of 5, kipping, at regular floor height. There's a no rep. And again working on my position upside down, which I just struggle with. It took me 3 or 4 months to be able to just get upside down on the wall. There's another no rep. Good job, Matt. And then I'm gonna work up to doing some deficit versions. What I'm attempting to do here is to bring my face and chin to the frontal plane, where I tend to arch my back and not do it right. So I'm working on that here. So I'm doing sets of 5. So here's at, I guess not really a deficit, but at flat, because the ab mat's taking up some space. Just attempting to do sets of 5. Yeah, I'm sure some of you guys are yelling about kipping, but if you're 6'2", 225, this is what you got to do to get up in the air. It's about getting the work done, and now here's at a deficit, which I have really never been able to do. So, I'm down to 225, 224, something like that. I'd gotten down to 216 or 214 at the lowest here recently when I did the cleanse, but I've put some muscle back on, and I'm hoping to drop some weight on this RP program. So at least that's the plan. But anyway, just struggling, reaching failure, trying to get better. Everyone's going on a run, so I'm gonna go run with them, and I'll probably run 2 miles though. We'll see. Just finished up the handstand work. I got so much work to do on that. I just hate being upside down. And I'm gonna go do a run. Gotta love working out in Florida in the summer. That's my shirt. Just from, I already wrung it out once. That's insane. That's just sweat. Oh my gosh, it's nasty. Well, I got my couplers from Osmatic. And we're back to the drawing board because these aren't even close. So I've got a 3/8, which is, just to give you an idea, here's the MTM. So it kind of defeats the purpose of making the gun more stubby, right? To put the plug inside the gun and then extend the coupler. That doesn't make any sense. And then these are amazing. The quality's off the charts. So the problem I had before was that the depth wasn't deep enough, so the stop inside of here wouldn't accept the standard quarter inch plug. So, well, that means more time. I was kind of hoping to get the new gun, the newly designed gun here at some point, but not looking too promising here. I guess what we could do is just put the standard traditional stainless connections, but I wanted to have these pre-installed so we didn't have to install them anymore, and the quality of these Mosmatics are off the charts. So anyway, we're gonna do it. I just need to get the right size, so I'm gonna keep working. See, look at the difference. Here's the MTM. Super smooth. This is going to be amazing getting Chris up to speed with what all these connections are. I probably get, how many times a day do I get that? 20 times a day I get a question about, well, how do I fit this Mosmatic gun to XYZ pressure washer? A lot of them I don't know the answer, but because they have some funky fittings. So the goal is to get it so that I can just make videos all day and Chris can answer these questions.
I just make it up as I go. It's fun.
we'll pretend that I'm the one answering them, but no, I mean it's not. Once we get it figured out, and plus we're going to bring in all these inexpensive pressure washers and adapt, a setup to it. So once we get through inventory and get our international shipping all structured, then we're going to be able to do that and offer these solutions with a one-click solution.
And if the emails seem nicer,
You'll know who it's coming from.
no.
Yeah, that's a good point. What do we got here? Ooh, I don't want to show you that one. This is a secret. Oh, so I was a little off on this. It does fit, so it's not a G thread. It fits really, really well, actually. So, good news. We've got the right 1/4 inch. Now we need to get the right 3/8 inch. All right, check out this box. All right, I got it. Got the prototype. Shoot, it's a little too purple. What I want to have is, the old Chemical Guys citrus wash. First of all, it shouldn't be called citrus wash, right? It's not citrus at all. It's alkaline. Citrus is acidic. So we're going to just call it decontamination soap. Simplify this thing a little bit here. And I wanted to make it purple because purple makes more sense, and that everything, like Iron X and things like that, this doesn't have an iron removal solution in it. I don't like to do that. I like to keep those separate. But the iron removal solution is, the standard color from pretty much every company, CarPro, all the others, is a light purple, or like a pinkish purple. So the color's a little bit too purple, so I'm going to change it a little bit. The scent, I don't really care all that much about the scent. It smelled fine before, so I like that. But this version is going to be, again, it's an alkaline soap, so why would we call it citrus based when it's not? So now, time to start unboxing this. I'm going to check in with Chris and see where he's at on our SKUs and MSDSs, because we need to install our inventory management software here today as well. Here's what I'm really excited about having Chris here. We're sitting here chatting about, there's a particular order here where the guy, emailed and said, look, it was $17 to ship this to me, right? So this product was, a 16 ounce of bead maker, some, 20 towels, 10 towels,
and a sticker.
And it was $17. And so the way the software works is we go in and we enter all the weights of each product, and we go and enter the dimensions. But then there's a third-party app that has to calculate the size of the box that it needs to go in. And there are, mathematically, how do combinations work? Is it, if we have 199 products, each product probably has an average of 3 variants, so we have 600 or 700 products. How many combinations do we have with 600 products?
A lot.
Yeah, right.
Use that factorial button on your calculator.
Right. So that the amount of options is insane, and so this, people make it out like, oh man, well, you're just overcharging shipping. Well, it's a complicated system to work out. And so the software, we have boxes entered into the system, we have the dimensions for each product entered into the system, and then this software pulls in the dimensions for each product, and then pulls in what boxes we have, and then it put the darn thing, so it put this package, which into a, well, I guess it put it in the right size box, right?
No, look, that's like there's all this extra room there. Yeah. It's the wrong box for sure.
The 12 by 8 by 8. So I guess one fix is, do we have smaller boxes even in the Boxify platform? Maybe I think that might be the smallest box we have in there. Okay, so it pulled the weight correctly and then created a dimensional weight of what? Of 12 pounds when the box really only weighed 4 or 5. And so it should have been $8 or $9 to ship, not 17. And so what Chris will do is, we can't do this for every order, but go back and credit the guy the money. And it's not my goal to make a bunch of money on shipping. But if there's a reason why a lot of companies, small businesses that haven't run the numbers, don't charge for shipping. They do it free because it's very complicated, extremely time intensive, extremely expensive. And so part of the reason why I hired a mathematician to run this, to have this position, to aid me in keeping me on track and sort of coordinating things to go in and analyze this stuff. But I'm gonna get this right. We're also about to sign a new contract with UPS, so our negotiated rates should go down substantially, and all I do is just pass that directly on. It's my one ask. And so this is the kind of stuff that I want to nail. And then hopefully if we're sending tens of thousands of packages a month, then maybe, you know, $5 shipping or some sort of, you know, some less expensive shipping option would make sense and still maintain some, you know, semblance of profitability and make it worthwhile to continue doing the business. But anyway, just thought I'd share with you. This is the kind of stuff that I want to be making decisions on, but not working on every second of every day, because otherwise I wouldn't be making any videos. So I've already been here for 45 minutes. Now I gotta go start jerking around with the desk. Everybody's reminding me I need to do my 500 burpees. I need to sit down. All this training twice a day is wrecking my body. Waiting on this desk for 4 months. So I decided to do walnuts. This is a 84 inch by 84 inch, 30 inch deep, L-shaped desk. Again, I generally prefer reclaimed look, but it has dowels that'll snap in. I was worried about how hard it was going to be to assemble. It looks cool. All right, I'm going to unbox the bigger section here on the bottom. I opted for whatever color this is called. Not sure about that one. Maybe I should have done black, but anyway, it'll look fine. So here's the good news. The desk is awesome. The bad news is I got giant holes exactly where there aren't supposed to be giant holes. So I called Uplift, and I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll see if we can make it work here for now. I need a darn desk. So here's the uprights. We're gonna assemble the uprights. This is gonna require us to actually read the instructions because it seems pretty complicated. So we're gonna have to read the instructions on this one and kind of work through it. So we got our legs all assembled. Now I'm gonna go grab the other piece and we're gonna kind of lay it out so we can start to bolt this together. We've mounted to our position points here, so we're bolted down. Our cross members will get bolted here, which I doubt we really even need cross members for this. And we're bolting down the power box, which is for the motors. And then those wires will all connect. We'll do some nice, neat wire organization. They have some. They send all of that stuff with us. We're gonna have to take the desk apart because we can't flip it over. All right, so that was the easy part. Now I've got to wire. So we've got wiring here, wiring there, and then we're gonna have to deal with the power cord. But just to give you a reference point, here's how high this thing gets, right? If I ever do that. And then you press the button, it goes down. All right, so here's the desk. Now the real work begins. I'm trying to decide if I put the Lista cabinet in here or not. Not sure yet. Oh lordy, I had big plans today. Well, at least I got the desk done, but the Lista cabinet isn't gonna work. Man, this desk looks comfy. Anyway, the Lista thing doesn't work. I just met with the UPS guys and we're supposed to be getting this massive discount. Well, it was 1%, so back to the renegotiating drawing board on that one. So they're gonna come back, I guess, next week. But anyway, I gotta go home, I gotta eat. I'm an hour behind my eat time. I'm supposed to eat at 2 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock. Got nothing done. This is the way my day goes. We had visitors after visitors after visitors, but at least I got the desk built, and man, it looks great. So it fits. The holes are still a problem, but whatever. Going home to eat. All right, Shelly, what do you got for the vlog today? Anything to say?
Handsome boy.
I want him to have a real haircut, like my haircut.
He looks so cute.
Shaved head.
He's so cute.
Anyway, having my carbs, 80 grams of carbs, 36 grams of protein, and I'm supposed to eat a bunch of vegetables, which I haven't been doing. a wild animal on that thing. All right, muscle up time. I just can't get warm, man. I'm so beat up. Just working out twice a day. Man, I just ate. My freaking stomach is full, but anyway, you're gonna see me struggle through the muscle ups. We're gonna do 33 muscle ups for time, and then we're supposed to squat, but I already squatted twice this week, so I did a few warm-up squats. That's about it. And then we got to do some AMRAP, and then we've got to do run a mile. So we're gonna do it. So here's the story of my CrossFit life again. A gymnastics movement that I'm really, really bad at. And the plan was to do 1 rep every 30 seconds. We have to do 33 reps. The thing I was worried about is all this work I've been doing. My hands are really hurting already. And I was moving pretty well, and actually probably could have knocked it out in 10 minutes or so, 10 or 12 minutes. But it wasn't long into this that my hands started to rip. You know, I hold a pretty stiff false grip, and what eventually happens on these wooden rings, you see me there, I'm at like rep 10 or 11, and boom, my hand rips. And then what I tried to do, now I'm a baby when my hand rips, but what I tried to do was just keep working through it, and every time I did it, I'd rip a little more, and then I eventually ripped the left side, and then I was done. So I fought through, did 19 reps, and quit, which I usually don't do. I was really frustrated. Here we're doing a 7-minute AMRAP of 7 front squats at 135, doing 7 calories on the bike, and then 7 GHD sit-ups. We were supposed to do the GHD sit-ups first, but because there were 3 of us and only 2 GHDs, I just decided I'd just do the bike first, just to keep everybody on track. But you know, front squats are something that took me a really long time to be efficient at. I had a hard time with wrist, with wrist mobility and flexibility. So once I figured that out, I'm decent enough. I think my front squat's about 320, 315, 320. So working with 135 is not a big deal, other than the fact all the squatting and working I've been doing all week. And people always give me a hard time about training legs. I probably train legs more than any human, or very few humans do. And it's just, my calves aren't going to get any bigger. It's just the way it works. Same thing with my wrists and forearms. You're kind of stuck with what you're stuck with. But I think the other 2 guys were usually all pretty competitive. They'd finished the 33 muscle ups, and I quit at 19. So I'm taking them to school here because I didn't have to work as hard as they did on the previous part of the workout. But this 7 minutes wasn't too bad. I probably should have gone a lot harder. The transition to the bike is always difficult to get that stupid thing moving again. Notice my heels are coming up. I got the wrong shoes on. I wore these shoes to run, but I'll concentrate on that. Again, you rarely get to see yourself. I don't video myself often, only on these vlogs. But my weight's coming forward onto my toes. This is where I start to get frustrated because the bike doesn't actually start, and I'm doing all kinds of work and getting angry. So again, I think, I got almost 5 rounds. So I got 4 rounds plus, 2, the 7 front squats, 7 calories on the bike, and then 2 of the GHDs, and that was the end of the platform. And we were supposed to do 2 of the 3 movements, which Chris and I decided to do all 3. So I went for a run, and even with all the work, I've been working like crazy. I ran a 7:30 just jogging. So that means I easily have a low 6s in me. All right, another eventful, crazy day. I didn't film video at all, but I think I told you the story through it. So second workout's done. Man, I'm struggling, but I'm pumped. I jogged a 7:30 mile, so I've got at least a minute in there, maybe more. So I'm probably low 6s if I went out and ran it fresh. But I'm gonna go make some dinner, probably edit some video, hang out with the family, put Riley to get to bed, help him with some homework, and that's a day. So anyway, that wraps up this last 2 days of craziness. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll do more vlogs. Stay tuned for more crazy. when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor. Foot to the floor.
Dialed in.